whatnot last Friday, and I was expecting a bull run on Friday to bring us back up into, the daily consolidation highs. So that may have been why I didn't execute shorts way up there. But the cool thing that you guys can note is I didn't even need the best optimal entry way up here to make money or to be profitable on the day. Could trade way down here and still banked a bunch. And it was still high probability. Anywho, but they didn't give me the bull run on Friday, bullish closure, mind you. So maybe they could give that to us today, since last Friday closed bearish. Today could possibly close bullish above Friday's high, which is going to be up here. Leave, rejoin, disconnect, reconnect, close Discord, reopen Discord, turn off your computer, sell your computer, break your computer, buy another one. I'm just kidding. I don't. Discord be acting up sometimes, and for some people, when you join it, it's messed up. Make sure you go over here. Make sure you adjust. You can adjust your settings over here. Deafen. A lot of times people have that toggled on or enabled on. But we got about 5 minutes to the market open. Well, Alan, good news. I hear you, bud. This ain't really a course. You can call it what you want. But appreciate you being here. But vacation time, by the funded, engine blue on Friday. Well, good news for you, Alan. My course doesn't, or my Discord doesn't cost an engine, so that's good. But I'm sorry to hear your engine blew. My engine actually locked up on my old car a couple years back, and it was the worst thing ever. My heart was broken. But you guys know, when I'm coming into a New York session with, high conviction, high probability, there's certain things I like to see, and that's coming off of bullish PD arrays previously for London, coming down to something to the left. We don't have that here, so I'm not too confident as of yet as what's going to happen right at that 9:30 open. So I'm not sure how I'm going to handle today yet because I'm not seeing the things I like to see. And I'm sure you guys have seen that on the internet. It's easier said than done. People don't like it, but yeah, I have to wait. Because I'm just being honest, I don't see anything I really, really like to see. When I come into those New York sessions and I see stuff like sometimes I see things that I just really like, or I'm just like, okay, yup, that's obvious. It's doing this, it's doing that, it's going here. All right. That's when I'm real confident. As of now, I just know there's a possibility we could be targeting previous day high. But the issue I'm having is all of this range right here. It's clean. It's Monday, and we're not coming off of anything significant down below. Let's measure out this wick right here and see what this comes out to be. So here's equilibrium. We didn't quite make it down to it. Pretty close. Here's our 4 hour. My first thoughts would be if we're coming to that daily high, we would need to stay above here. That's my first initial thought. If you're the only one having the audio, or he can't hear me, sure. If it's just him, then I know it shouldn't be nothing on my end. Out of 100 and something people, it's just him. I'm not sure what to tell him. But yeah, if we're gonna come up, and then we also know how these highs in here, equal body highs, the market loves to use that as a draw on liquidity. We have the down close candle here. We have a nice displacement candle. If we're coming here to the equal body highs and then possibly even the daily high from Friday, previous day high, we don't want to see them back below this swing here because it's a down close and then an expansion. Therefore, when it comes to order flow, bullish order flow, you just don't want to see them go back there. Simple as that. We can go to the 2 hour time frame. There's not a big wick, so the 930 move that's happening right now, it could come down and rebalance this 2 hour buy side inefficiency in here. And then as soon as it were to drop, you could possibly consider looking to long, but we just don't want to see them come down here. I don't even want to see them really, like come here. I don't want to see them drop too far at all. But don't chase that initial 930 bullish pop right there because watch that. We should be coming down. And I wasn't recording that on OBS. So we got the market open right here. We're coming down. We noticed on the 2 hour time frame, we had this 2 hour buy side imbalance. We're possibly wanting to target these equal body swing highs right on up here, and then maybe even the Friday daily high. 930 just now opened. We have this buy side imbalance, bullish fair value gap. There was no wick really on that 2 hour candle low, and they may have just now put one on there. Unfortunately, they didn't want to come any lower, which is pretty lame if you ask me. They just stabbed right below that candle's low so far. I wanted to see it come a little bit deeper into this pink area. Here's the 5 minute. Three, two, one, run. Hopefully they don't use this as an a 1 minute bullish EOB. This would be a great learning experience though. I'm not going to enter because, like I say all the time, I don't like entering the EOB inside of this right here. More times than not, I get chopped and then they'll end up like coming back down and just, they're not ready to run yet. This could offer higher prices right here, like it's currently doing. I'm on stream right now. I want to stick to my rules, which is not to do it inside of chop. But at this moment in time, if it were to work, which, still early, you really wouldn't want to see them even go back here. This candle's low. If we would have pushed further down to this pink area, like I originally wanted, that would have been much, much greater. Then see the bullish expansion. But here would be the first upside draw. I don't want to see them back below the previous candle low. That 9:30 drop right there was literally just to barely put a wick on the 2-hour candle low, as you guys saw. But it was also taking out sell side liquidity. Boop. And then there's 1 minute EOB, and now we're going. Yes, we definitely don't want to see them back to this candle's low at all. So if you were to take a long right here, you don't want to take a loss at all. You pull your stop up. You don't even want them to the EOB at all. Here's the 2 minute time frame. We're currently rebalancing the bullish displacement candle. It's so early. It's hard to really navigate it. If it's going to be a true open power three rebalance and continue. This was the 1 minute EOB that's respected right here. So this is, if we're going to come on up here, that's what you would want to see if they're ready to run it. Here's the 5 minute. They could easily come on back down some. 5 minute buy side imbalance. Down close candle, bullish engulfing. Let's see if they can close that thing higher. Look at the bearish candle. Look left. What do you see? Gap, volume imbalance. So if you were in a long, trail your stop to the volume imbalance, respected PD array low, which would be here. You don't want to see them go back there. And then here's your target up here. So respected 1 minute EOB, respected volume imbalance. You don't want to see them back here. So now your stop loss would be trailed in profit. I know a lot of prop firms, they have that trailing drawdown rule intraday, right? So you don't want them to come all the way back to break even. That's why I'm trying to show you guys stuff that I would be doing in that case scenario. Drag that sucker up because there's that little gap. If I expand the price, you can see the gap now. See it right there? $24,855. Oh, if it's higher, then yeah, I'll keep it in mind because I'd prefer to see higher prices. Just not exactly sure when. Just a 3 minute power of three. Still got this 5 minute BISI right here. So if we do happen to make our way back down, that could tell us, we're going to keep moving sideways some, unless they just stab into here and continue. Yeah, it looks like they're going to come below that volume imbalance because that 5 minute BISI is below that. So we just stab down through it. But what's it doing on the 5 minute? Preferably, I'd like to see a new candle fill in. I know this is a lot to take in, but when it comes to fair value gaps, you want to see a new candle do it. But this is screaming consolidation at the moment. Or not consolidation, but the possibility to come on back down and hang out. Here's a 3 minute volume imbalance as well. We'll see what they do right in here. Be watching close. We're wicking down through. Let's see how this candle closes in 27 seconds. And see if they can close below that or above it. Five, four, three, and two, and one. So yeah, not a whole lot of relevance on that. Let me get off this 3 minute. It's looking kind of funky. So now you're seeing it real time so far. Stuff like this, but I don't like taking those EOBs. We can come on back up, we can come down. I'm being wishy-washy at the moment. This back and forth stuff, and we create the water block right here. A lot of times that's why I don't like taking them because they just, I don't know how to tell. I don't think there's any valid way to tell, you know, a true displacement out of a consolidation before it occurs. It's very difficult to do. And I don't like predicting breakouts. Like you see right here, that seems like a breakout, right? But then we just come on back. And that, I don't like that. A lot of times that will lead to further emotions, right? So let's say I went long here, and I'm just telling you guys this based off of previous experiences of myself. If I went long here and caught that move and didn't manage, and they come on back down and stop me out break even, and then I see this reaction right here, it leads to further emotions. I still prefer it to be bullish. Let's see if they can give us another EOB or a different one, a cleaner looking one. Here's the 5 minute. It came down. See what we do in here. They want to come back to the low. This is the only array holding us higher right now. This is the last one, the last line of defense right here. We know in 20 minutes that's going to take us to a 4-hour closure. If we're not here in the next 20 minutes, we'll note that, reevaluate, the possibility of the new 4-hour candle, power of three. But we should hit this target. Like if they really want to come here, that should be hit and met within this candle's timeline, which means in the next 20 minutes, if they're really wanting to go up there, yeah, we want to see it occur in the next 20 minutes by 10 a.m. And so far, we're in this fair value gap. And damn, this is the wrong. I gotta use the bathroom so bad right now. It's the wrong time. ES rallied, you said? Yeah. And then we're gonna have opportunity for the next a 4-hour candle as well when it opens up at 10 a.m. If it drops some, that would be expected. We would just be rebalancing this displacement candle. So keep that in mind. We may wait for after 10 a.m. on this one, see what they do. But regardless, I still prefer to see higher prices. I'll be right back. I got to use the restroom. One second. Hold on. All right, I'm back. So yeah, like I said, we want to see this level get hit within the 4-hour fractal. So it's a target in mind for the 4-hour time frame. If we go to the 4-hour time frame, we have this 4-hour equal body swing high candle. The market loves targeting that. Okay, so that's going to be inside of our 4-hour fractal from 9:30 to 10 a.m. Right, because the 4-hour candle closes at 10 a.m. Just 5 minutes ago, we were trading down into this 5-minute fair value gap. That's our last line of defense. We're thinking time of day. It's 9:45, brand new 15-minute candle. And look, we're meeting that target before 10 a.m. So it's it's just what you want to see. That's all. Right before I left, went to the restroom. You heard me. I still want to see higher prices. So here we go. That's nice to see. Nice to see. And I'm sure you guys have heard me say that before. I've been teaching this a lot lately, especially on the hourly time frame. Targets. When you see expansion like this, as opposed to the 4-hour expansion we're currently seeing, here's 4-hour time frame. When we go ahead and expand like this, and we're floating right here, we note this, the target, and then we look at our clock and see what time it is. We're noting what time it closes. We know it closes at 10 a.m. It's currently 9:48, so we know in the next 10 minutes we want to see that get met. There's the bullish PD array right here. Sends us up. Beautiful trade in all in itself. Definitely take something off here, risk free. I'll explain that in a minute, pilot. Yeah, definitely be getting out right there. Nice exit. Notice a majority of people are targeting what? What's the majority wanting to target? Which could still could deliver, right? We don't know. Majority of people in that bullish pop right there, they're wanting to hold this thing to the previous day high, right? So far, they're gonna get pretty emotional seeing a pullback of any kind of retracement like that. We know this is a rejection block right here. That's what this level is. That's what our target is. 4 hour rejection block, equal body swing high. Good job, bud. That was a beautiful exit, and even if it does come back up and goes higher, that's still okay. That's a beautiful exit. You don't want to be in that and then have it come all the way back down to your entry, right? I mean, star, if you're in it, you can still try to go risk free. We can still see higher prices from here. This is our next line of defense. This is the only other area at the moment on this time frame that would need to keep us pushing higher. We open up this new 5 minute, we're rebalancing, we're coming off of this fair value gap. So we want this low to remain in place, this swing low in here. We want that to stay put. We want to see this would have to be an open, power of three, go higher. But we're not entirely sure. We don't have lots of confidence in this one as opposed to, other things because this had been met already. Okay. That target had been hit. So we're not going to be as confident here, but we still see what has previously happened, and then we're noting what's currently happening, and we know if we're going to go higher, they need to stay above this now. And that's a nice initial reaction right there. That's pretty nice to see. And yeah, I still haven't placed the trade yet. I'm thinking still maybe after 10 a.m. If they want to show me signs that they want to go to Friday's high, I'll place one. Now, how could we get to Friday's high, which is way up here? That's a long ways away, right? I'm not sure if we're gonna do that, but what I'll do here is, I could maybe take something now, stop loss here, low risk, see if I can get that target way on up there, or wait for them to show me they want to go to Friday's high, which would require them to use this level, make it work, start coming on up, and then find something here once I'm convinced just to go to Friday's high. That's so there's just two approaches you can learn to use. There's your conservative approach, and then there's your, fearless approach where you try it. Whichever approach you decide to take is just going to be discretionary to you, how you're feeling, and then what the market's doing. Some days you're super convinced, right? So when I'm super convinced, I'll take my next, immediate entry. But right now, I'm not super convinced we're going to Friday's high just yet. I don't like seeing them come to the 4 hour equal body and then see this right here. No, I don't like seeing that. I would much rather see them open, drop, and just keep on going higher. Before I even started the stream, I had this phone, this level here noted. I knew that shit was gonna fucking hold too. It was on my phone. I was on my phone and I seen that right there before market open. And then sure enough, like it's funny. I wanted them to come a little bit deeper though. Just that 2 hour bullish gap would have been much nicer. But there was a nice quick manipulation, boop, to an imbalance. All it needs to do is tick it, right? So that's all they had to do. That's all they're physically required to do. Sometimes it's just barely tap it, boop, and then we go higher. Fair value gap, rejection block. What's the price range on that? Roughly about 60 points, 50, 60 points. So we're going to be watching this new 5 minute candle. It's going to bring us to the 4 hour close. We want to see it. If it's going to be bullish, we want to see it trade above the previous bearish candle. Okay. That's the type of closure we want to see for bullish continuation. It's going to bring us to the 4 hour close also. So not too sure. If we get that closure above that bearish candle, then I can really start honing in and eyeing for a trade myself, since I missed this one. But that right there, that's not what we're wanting to see. I just know this area in here, that'd be a low problem. This is a low probability area. I'm not too interested in it. But if it ends up working, I can revert back to that and say, okay, that held. Now let me try this, because this one finally looks good. That's just how I'm dealing with today at the moment, guys. Well, thank you, 333. Three is my favorite number also. And you started March 2025 and you already see the market like me. Damn. You're gonna be way better than me. So here's the reaction we want to see if we're gonna continue being bullish. Beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. The level worked. We're getting the bullish pop that we want to see. We still got 2-3 minutes before it closes. We're inside of the 950 to 1010 time fractal. Beautiful pop. Beautiful pop. Yes, we wouldn't want to see them back down there now, though. Okay. That's a beautiful pop. Huh? I'll get it in just a moment. God, I was supposed to enter right there too. My son come in here. Oh, I was wanting to enter as soon as that candle dropped right there. That's where I was wanting to enter. Fuck. So every level, every bullish PD array is holding price higher at the moment. You see this? At this point in time, we do not want them coming back to this one. Okay, they're not allowed to come here. I was wanting to get my entry right here. just for a quick run. Let's see if they continue. If we're going to go to that Friday's high, we don't want them. We don't want them coming back down, guys. We don't want them coming back down too far. Specifically the pink area, but I don't even want them coming back down to this blue one. I'm being honest. That's where I was supposed to have my entry. But we can see we just took out daily high. Here's a buy side imbalance. We'll see what we do in here. And I just really don't want to get stuck in consolidation either, because we want to see them break out of here. You know what I mean? We want to see a true just break on up. We don't want to see them lillygag around inside here, back and forth, back and forth. There it goes. Okay, so it's currently 10 a.m. New 4-hour candle. We can expect that 4-hour rebalance of some sort. Yeah. Here's our new 4-hour candle. I'm gonna take everything off. Let's clean this up some. The only thing I need on my chart is gonna be this. At the moment, we'll keep that on there. And then we want this high, and then Friday's high. So a lot of times I teach, you want to pay yourself at 10 a.m., especially when you see a 4-hour candle do this, a huge displacement candle, because we know at 10 a.m. we can open and then we can trade lower to rebalance that displacement. So a lot of times we're taking profits right around that 10 a.m. mark. Okay. If you had caught a bullish expansion, whether it's on the hourly, the 4-hour, whatever time frame it's on, it really doesn't matter. If you caught some sort of bullish pop, or let's say even if you caught the trade here, right? Let's say you just caught this here, boop, and then you caught it up to there, then 10 a.m. opens. Even if you caught that piece of it, you want to get out because the 4-hour closed super, super bullish. But I'm watching right here these equal body candles now. Rejection block, I'm watching that. If order flow is truly bullish and they want to continue, like now and not later, we should stay above there. And then obviously our next target would be that other wick high up here. But again, it just brings me back to this though. Like, notice how we're not in a hurry. They're not really aggressively running it. It's a lot of back and forth, so I understand it's probably difficult for majority of you. The same way it's difficult for me. I don't like to see the back and forth stuff. This is a 5-minute, but the arrays are still doing what they're supposed to do at the moment. The main one was this pink zone. We just now opened up the new 4-hour candle, new hourly candle, new 15, new 5, and we see a quick drop down to this 5-minute equal body low here, which is blended with our initial support level. When it's dropping, it's also rebalancing the 4-hour placement candle in the term of open power of 3. So on the 4-hour, we're dropping, we're rebalancing some of that displacement. On the 5-minute, this is the candle that dropped, the 4-hour, right at 10 a.m. It drops, equal bodies. And then you're seeing that reaction. This is our make or break level. All this. That's the line in the sand for bullish price action. They cannot trade back down to this. And honestly, I don't even want them coming back at all to that wick low that just now got put in. I really wouldn't want to see that. I know it's difficult. That's all I got to work with at the moment. And I still have yet want it to enter anything, there's no true strength. They're being a pain in the butt. We got that initial run on the 4-hour equal body rejection block. That was nice. No problem, Chuck. You can trade it however you want, man. Build on it. Do what you got to do. And not a whole lot to teach here, but no problem. We can only do so much, you know. So here's our hourly open. We're dropping initially. Yeah, I'm not sure, guys. I'm just not sure at the moment. I'm sure if I measure that, we probably stop dead in its tracks. If I measure it properly. Pretty darn close. So here's new 30-minute. We're dropping. We're rebalancing the displacement. If they're going to continue higher, we want this to be an open power of 3. Continue. What do you want to eat? You want some oatmeal?
Some chicken. Wait, I want
Keep in
some
mind.
oatmeal. I'm watching TV, so you can give me some oatmeal.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Because I'm just watching TV. I'm not playing no games.
We're going to watch how this current candle closes. Remember, if we're bullish, we want to see bearish candles get traded through. Long story short. But this right here is just what has been bothering me to take a trade. No, I just don't want to take a trade in this. The chop, chip, chop, chip, chop, chip, chop. That's just me personally. I don't want to get caught in some chip chop, chip chop, chip chop. Although we're going higher, the levels have been holding, the level has held, right? It's just at the manner at which they're doing it, gradually, slowly, slowly. And those two possible other upside objectives are both these levels right here. 24,765 and 24,800. Notice what they didn't do. They didn't take out the bearish candle low, which was that rejection block reaction. That's nice. That's what we want to see right there. Now we may start getting a real bullish run any minute. I just like the way these candles look right in here. I'll be right back. I gotta go get my son some breakfast. But we could shoot on up from here. If they decide they want to come back down one last time, and watch right here. There's low space in there. You want them to tick it and then see if they can immediately reverse. But yeah, higher prices, higher prices, higher prices, higher prices. Now this is what we wanted last Friday. Remember, we wanted to see price come on back up into that daily range, the highs of the daily range. We're not anticipating breakouts. So here's our daily time frame. We want to come on back up into all this up here. We can see a little gap right here on the daily, right in there. That's going to be a draw for this week. And then right now we're currently targeting Friday's high. That was my initial thought for the beginning of this week. So we noted this fair value gap. We noticed this. We noted the first pink area. We noted the second pink area. And then we also noted this rejection block here, the black line. So it's not super pretty, but price is respecting the levels and price is offering points. And essentially, we're correct. But let me go make my son some breakfast. It'll take me 5 minutes. Did you know there's a Stranger Things mission in GTA 5 where you can obtain this pink? Okay. All right. Well, as you guys see, they're struggling. We're struggling. If they want to, they could easily come back to here. So if you're in a long, just be careful, be cautious. I know you got FOMO. You think we're gonna blast on up higher, hit Friday's high. And I feel the same way. It could happen. Looks like it wants to happen. I also see this. We're just struggling. If they would have presented this differently, you would have saw me execute a trade. If they just didn't present it the way I wanted, if I just that's all I got. Too much time spent, back and forth. No urgency. No urgency at all. Besides, the initial entry we were referring to here, there was urgency in that move to shoot on up to that first initial target we had, which was the rejection block, which was right here. That was our first target. Boop. That was nice. But ever since we've been going sideways. Just the slow grind. Slow grind. But if you go to these higher time frames, look, they're all bullish candles. I don't see anything young. Oh, could this be core PPI Wednesday? I don't even know what that means, young or yang. With all due respect, I'm not sure what that means. This is just what we're dealt. There's not a reason for everything. People are always just like, oh, price is moving like this, because of that. Everyone wants to attach a reason. Everyone needs an answer to every little thing the market does. And it's like, well, shit. No wonder why, no one can figure this out. Because everyone wants to know exactly what everything's doing. They want to attach this to that to that. It's like, no, price, it's just doing what it's doing. It's gonna do what it do. You know? I don't think it's because of anything. It's what they decide to do. I'm not counting myself out yet for a trade. I could have been in trades already, right? But if my target is up here, there's still room. There's still room for something if the target is up here. So I'm still watching, still watching. Here's that other 4-hour wick high right here. We got so close to it. Don't withdraw a buffer. Who are we talking about? Let me convince them not to do so. Who is this? Who are we talking about? Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. Do not withdraw your buffer. Don't do it. Yeah, but if you do that, it says right there they will close your pro account. Why would you close your pro account for a couple bucks? You worked very, very hard to build that. Don't fold now for a couple bucks. That means anything, if you're at your buffer, yeah, but if you're at your buffer right now, that means any trade you make, right, any money you make right now is withdrawable at TPT. You could literally hit your next trade with freaking two minis and hit a $6,000 move, and they'll pay you out. There's no payout cap for TPT. You do what you want, but I would not be. I would not do that. It sounds enticing. I know. Oh, I can get some money out. You're at the best part of the whole stage right now. Clements, I ought to kick your ass out of here for saying some dumb shit like that. I've been here twice and ain't seen this guy take a trade. The last 55 streams he did he traded, but the two I'm in he didn't take his trade. He didn't take a trade. I'm so used to negative stuff, man. It's my mind's gonna automatically go there. He said he's not complaining, so yeah, we'll believe him. It's okay. Yeah, Young, keep that buffer, bro. Even if it's 25, even if it's just 25K, keep the buffer, you know, because that's the hardest part is passing eval, building the buffer, and then that's the best part. I mean, in all honesty, though, you know how aggravating this right here would be to me, though? Like I said, Clev, whatever your name was, I could have entered here, I could have entered here, I could have entered at the rejection block. Those are all levels I call out. Those are all levels I like to see hold up as support. In this specific trading session, right? But the market wasn't, it's not really just like before these showed up, the market wasn't doing things I really like to see. And you know, it is what it is. It's not my favorite trading condition at the moment. It's not my all-time favorite. Well, obviously, that I have no problem taking a trade in front of you guys. I do it every single week with the premium people. But again, you want to be confident before you take a trade, right? Right? Right. And if I'm not super confident and I don't like what I'm seeing altogether, I don't have a top down trade idea built together. And I'm not counting myself out yet either. If I know the market can go up here, I can still take a trade today. I'm still waiting. Right now, I say this every single day. I don't like trading inside of bullshit like this. I don't like that, bud. Dude, live streaming is the hardest. Dude, literally, live streaming is the hardest thing. If anything, it makes people's trading worse. So let that sink in. Live streaming by default is going to make anyone, even ICT himself, it's going to make anyone's trading worse. Not better, worse. So let that sink in. How do you think I would trade if I'm completely by myself? I'd probably way more, I'd be way more, my results would be 10 times better than what they are right now if I was all by myself. But I enjoy showing people what I see. That's why I'm here. Well, Alan, it's not a random guess. Remember, we're not expecting breakouts for one, right? We weren't expecting a breakout down low. We're on a hard time frame. We see what Friday did. Friday traded lower. Friday filled in some of this gap from this bullish candle's wick. We're not expecting breakouts lower. Therefore, we would anticipate price to come on back up. If we look up, what do we see? Well, we got Friday's high. We have the gap right in here. So I'm anticipating this week to trade on up into here. That's my draw. That's 200 from where price currently is. We're looking at about 250 points. Since today is trading so slow, I mean, there's no telling what's to come. The only other draw on price is obviously going to be previous day high, since we're already way up to here. Mind you, we had that idea framed, when we were down here. CJ, I understand that, but it's easier said than done, CJ. Because believe me, I've taken losing trades, I've taken bad trades on live, I've done it all at this point. I've done it all. And when you have to hear stuff, some of the stuff people say, it's like, like let's say I take a losing trade, and then someone's on here like, oh my god, he doesn't know what he's doing. Blah, 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 blah. I don't fuck with that. So that's why I don't ever suggest, don't be a signal bot. If you want to enter where I enter, cool. But like the more you participate in my live streams though, the more you're able to, you know, see what I'm seeing and listen to what I'm saying. And then you can frame trades. You'll build confidence. You'll know when you should be entering, whether it's with or without me. You'll just know. Like there's people in here that know me well enough. They know how I read price, and they just know. And they, sometimes they're in the trade that I'm not in, and then they'll hear me say, "Oh yeah, I wish I would have took that one. You know, I should have took that one," and they're in it. And so here's a great example. So you got this guy over here saying, "This is my second live stream for free, mind you," and he's teaching all this stuff. He's calling all these levels, right? Pretty cool. Not a lot of people do this, but he hasn't executed a trade yet. This is exactly why, buddy, because I'm not a fucking, excuse my language, I'm not a retard, and I know that there's a chance that this thing can roll back on down. Now, why would I want to chase longs knowing my conditions are not favorable? You know what I'm saying? So there's a reason why I'm not wanting to execute. Yes, I could have, but there's a reason why I'm not wanting to. When you can filter out the times, you know, that are good versus the times that are iffy versus the times that are bad, that's what will make you, no, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. But I'm just using you as an example. I'm not picking on you. I'm not calling you out. Um, let's say you did mean it in a bad way. I know you didn't, but let's say that you did. There's, or let's say someone else did, right? There's a reason for it. There's always a reason. Usually. Sometimes I just get scared, right? There's always going to be that human emotion. And if we're being honest, last Friday, if someone wanted to make a comment like that, it would be last Friday. Last Friday, I should have been trading 100% on the stream. Said I was tape reading, but there was some really good trade last Friday for New York session. A low risk, high probability trade. There was. Back on down to this level. It's little things like this that I see that can also we're coming on up super slow, right? It's 10:30. We're not showing any signs of aggression. Super choppy. If we look lower, like I highlighted earlier, this little area right in there, I know that can be traded on down to. So that's another reason. Blend that with the, you know, we're not displacing, we're not showing any signs of aggression, we're leaving behind little gaps. It's Monday. We've already traded up the entire session. All it takes is one candle to ruin all that. That brings us back to take profit levels. If you don't know where to take profit, guess what? You'll get destroyed in this environment. A great take profit level for this, said our first one, these equal body highs, that's always going to be a good take profit level. Here's our 4 hour candle. If it wants to, it can do whatever it wants. It can come and rebalance majority of the previous candle. But today's Monday. I can I can almost guarantee that we will have a good trading week this week, just because I know everyone says daily bias is irrelevant. Oh, daily bias means nothing. I mean, it's just, what do you consider daily bias even is? Like, the people that say that, what is daily bias? Like, how can you sit there and say daily bias means nothing? Like, you know, are you a effing complete retard to say something like that? Like, seriously, that's my opinion. I think you got to be a complete retard. Like, you suffer with retardation if you think daily bias means nothing. Seriously. Holy moly, I've never heard of something so ignorant. ever, ever, ever. Not any of you guys, but I see people say it all the time. I've seen someone say it this morning. It's crazy. The loudest people in the room are usually the weakest or the most ignorant. So then you wonder why. Oh, every other day we got the new influencers. Shit, crazy. Did you earn that badge? No. Did they earn it? No. It takes time. You gotta be in. You gotta be in here, man. If you've never traded live funds, you should not be an influencer. You shouldn't even try. But apparently nowadays, everyone that has ever placed the trade feels entitled to just flash it all over the internet, which is wild. And TJR is the blame. Just kidding. I'm kidding. Y'all see him get exposed, though. I'm not surprised at all. I mean, it was clear as day, right? Obvious. For someone to pay that dude 5,000 freaking dollars. $5,000? $5,000 for liquidity sweeps and IFBGs is that's highway robbery. That's insane. I'm in trades, yeah. And there's way more to it than that, too. There's way more to it. I mean, it's the same as a lot of people. They're good when the market is good. When the market's showing an obvious setup, right? And you trade it, yeah, you're good. You're good in that day, but that's why everyone says its results are not typical. There's no guarantees. If you stretch their trades out over a series of 100 trades, 100 trades, they're going to be way net negative. Way net negative. I remember seeing a video. I'm not even going to talk about it. He knows, they all know what the market does. You guys all know. You guys all know what the market does. Therefore, y'all can be influencers. Y'all can be educators. You guys know what the market does. It seeks liquidity and it goes to imbalances. You're entitled to be an educator. Make your IG account, start posting content. Yeah, when I woke up this morning, I was on my phone. I seen this on a 30-minute time frame. I was on US Tech. So if I go here, go US Tech, see that. That's what I initially saw. So that was going to be the framework today. It was on US Tech on my phone when I woke up, checked the charts real quick. I seen this. I seen that we were going higher, higher, higher. I was just saying if we're going to remain higher, here's a no wick 30-minute low. If 9:30 open, trades down. I wanted to be go long in there. That's exactly what occurred, but I didn't go long. They didn't have the no wick on the chart I was trading, so honestly, I wasn't entirely sure. You can see there's a tiny little dot right there on that candle. And then again, we wanted the 2 hour to go a little bit deeper too. This could be where we're heading now, down into here. That's possible for the rest of the day, but I wanted to see the last 2 hour candle drop first, a little bit deeper, then go up to our objectives for today. But they didn't want to do that, so. To be honest, I would just have a hard time trusting anything for the rest of the day, guys. I'd have a hard time trusting anything. I won't be surprised if we come down into this area down here, but regardless, I would just, pick and choose your battles, pick and choose. The more time you let candles print, the better. That's why Mondays are usually pretty difficult because we don't have data to frame our trade off of. All we have is last Friday, which isn't a really good day, right? Then we have Monday, but when we let candles print and we let candles form, there's a 15-minute time frame. The rest of this day can do whatever it wants, right? But while it's trading, we could see a candle go lower or higher, creating an imbalance, right? And they're going to leave it unfilled. And then we come into tomorrow, and then we accumulate, then we can use those levels in reference to the new trading day. Regardless, what I will leave you guys with, since today's probably about to be done for today, not a whole lot. We're going to be watching how today closes. All right. If we can find price, get on back up, we can use the wick of Friday as a support level to get us up here. But we got to see how we close today. And I'll remind you guys when we arrive at 5 p.m. when we close. If we don't get a strong closure above Friday, and not even just to here, preferably I want it to close even higher. I want it to close higher than it currently is. But if we come on back down and close below Friday's open, then I would anticipate them to drop back down into here for short term. But watch off today closes, and then we'll go from there. I've never done that. I know. Let's look at ES real quick. So ES has that same gap in price, and that's what's freaky though. See that right there? And I'm just waiting for this month to end. So the free live streams will they'll be banging here shortly. This right here, we don't like this. This sucks, right? But there's nothing we can do about that. We just have to wait and be patient. But my anticipation is just waiting for the 3-month candle to close. So once this candle here closes, the current one, it'll give us a new 3-month candle, which would be April 1st. We'll open up the new 3-month candle. Price has been bullish, right? We've been going higher, 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 higher. We print a bearish down closed candle with a nice wick on top. And I'm actually wanting to go back to NAS for this. So the new 3-month candle, which would be Q2, I would just anticipate this. And then once they start showing signs on other time frames that they want to do that, that's when it gets fun. And you can have a lot of confidence anticipating that. And then look, watch this. And then we go to Q3, right? So from March, April, April, May, June. So July 1st would be Q3, right? But what else is it? What else is July 1st? It is the 6th month new candle, right? So when Q2 closes, it would be July 1st. If we close like this, what would that do to our 6-month time frame, which would be half of a year? And I'll have to go back to US Tech for this to show you all this. So I'm honestly, I'm anticipating higher prices, guys. Whether I'm right or wrong, who knows? I want to be right, obviously. If I'm wrong, we can still profit. That's the fun part. We would just get in sync with bearish PA. They would just have to prove to me that I'm wrong. And how would that look? It would be failed higher time frame bullish arrays. But anyways, here's the 6-month time frame. Open. We did not take out all-time high first. We actually made relative daily highs up there. So we're dropping right now. We're rebalancing this 6-month displacement candle. This is the 6-month, right? But when you fractal this and then go to 3-month, and then you think about time and price and order flow and so on and so forth, right? Whoops. Bearish down close. So if they close this month, even I want them to close a little bit more bearish, to be honest. But yeah, this week can come up and hit those levels. But ultimately, I want this candle to close as bearish as possible, because then I would expect the next month to do that. And that would bring up the 6-month power of 3 also. But in a bullish trend, what do we expect after bearish down close candles? Bullish engulfing. So that's what I'm expecting for the remainder of the year. And then when we close like this is where I was getting with it. If we get that closure like so, right? Next candle opens, drops into the EOB zone, and then there's your new support level for higher prices, which would bring us to a 6-month closure, which would make our 6-month candle flip from being bearish to bullish, following the trend that's been going on for so long. So that's the way I'm trying to perceive this. And that's why I'm telling y'all we're not going to see anything significant until we get this new 3-month candle. So that's the way my brain is viewing this. Because I'm not trying to call a top. I'm just looking at it the same way I'd look at any other price chart on any other time frame. There's no reason to come on back down. We're coming off the bullish yearly order block. There's no reason to come way the hell back down here. Unless, we have some sort of black swan event that brings price all the way back down. For whatever reason, economically. So that's what I'm saying. If you're in the Discord, or if you're thinking about joining the Discord, you could hold off for now. Wait till April to begin, and you'll get probably, you'll get more usage out of it, because the market has potential to start really doing things that we want, aka just getting out of this. We just want to get out of this. But you got to think time and price. When would be a good time to get out of this? And then that brings us to those higher time frames. That's all. And then we got all the buy side liquidity here. We got that little gap right in here also. That's another reason to come on back up. That little gap in there. We got all the highs. And then we got all-time highs up here, which are beautiful, clean. And then right now, all this accumulation, we're just thinking accumulation, manipulation, distribution for the entire year. And then resume higher. That's what I would love to see. And that's what I think we're going to see. $100, Russ. But if I were you, I would just, to get the most bang for your buck, I'd wait for April 1st. Because when we start having a reason to trend like that, guys, that's when these intraday sessions become so much better, right? Way better. It's been so long since we've had that. We had a little bit of that short term during this bullish run here. That was nice. We had some of that in this bearish run here. That was really nice. So all that was super nice. And guess what? I was trading inside of this, and I was trading inside of that. And those trading conditions right there are so much easier to trade as opposed to this. I promise. The only other time I think it was Martin that asked me if I've ever seen anything like this before, and the short answer is no, not on a daily for this long. I've never been involved in it. The closest thing to that I've ever been through was a couple years ago on Dollar, but I don't even, still, it wasn't that tight. If we go to this time frame, you can see it better. It was just this range here. This is the closest I've been to it. But it was not nearly as tight. So there wasn't a whole lot of complaining in here because that's, these are weeks. So that's not too bad, right? That's not bad at all. But our daily chart right now is horrible. Makes you wonder if it's the war that's holding us back too. At the same time, everything has, its purpose, and it always comes at the right time. I haven't looked at. Can you even tell me what is oil? How do I go to oil? CL? It's not a stock though, is it? What is it? A indice?
Daddy,
Huh?
I'm done.
Yep.
You a glizzy?
What did you just call me?
A glizzy?
A glizzy?
Yeah, like a glizzy hot dog.
You're calling me a glizzy hot dog. Which one is this, guys? Someone tell me. Thank you. Thank you, guys. I had a buddy of mine that was really into oil when we first got into trading. Which one is it? Is it this? Or is it Apple? It's not Apple. Yeah, I just got called a glizzy. You hear that? He just called me a glizzy. He's 5 years old, mind you. Then he asked me, he said, Daddy, do you know who NBA Youngboy is? My boy, if I ever hear you say that again. Oh, we can even take it a step further. Before he asked me that, he didn't even ask me, he just said, I like Lil Mabu. I'm sure some of you younger guys know who that is. Some internet kid, rapper, entertainer. He's 5. Why, dude, you are not listening to any of that stuff. But crude oil, real quick before we get off here. And who knows, guys? I may feel nice enough to do another stream with y'all this week if premium allows me, because I want to take a trade in front of you guys. Okay, winner or loser, I'm gonna execute. Okay. I feel like I owe you. I feel like I owe it to y'all since last Friday we didn't have that. But also the other guy that was complimenting me, the 2 Fridays prior to that though, I took trades. Okay, so 2 Fridays we had a free live stream. I took trades on both of those Fridays, but then this Friday or last Friday and the Friday before that did. Anywho, here's crude. Haven't looked at this in freaking years. I don't know. I don't know. I can't read this like I normally would. Maybe there's a different chart I'm missing, but I have no idea, guys. I'm not the guy for crude. I'm not. I know with the war, everyone's saying, oh, it could blast off higher, or who knows. Anyone interested in stocks? We got the old Apple. What's Apple doing? Who knows, right? Who knows? Filled in this little gap here. All these stocks, a lot of people made a shitload of money from 2020 to 2024, 2025, because every stock you go to, you can see I've done some other research, but every stock from those years flew. So it was a great 4 or 5 years of investing. You see, from 2019 to 2025, just the markets went crazy from those time spans. This is a 3 month. Let's get off this. Hold on. Here's your monthly, just straight bullish moves. And then Martin, we can go to, let's go to our, this is one I've been watching a lot lately, Palantir, because it looks halfway decent. Yeah, this is what I picked up the other day. When Palantir was floating up here, is when my friend introduced me to it, introduced me to investing and, trying to think long term, retirement, your IRA, all that stuff. All my friend introduced all that into me. And this was the very first trade I took, investment I took a couple weeks ago. When it was floating right here, I was just wanting to see it pull back. I noticed on the 6 month, we have the giant fair value gap here. I was just wanting to see them come down into it, and I'd go long and, hold it for retirement, see what happens, and add if I want, just do whatever I want, right? I'm investing. This is the first market I've ever invested in, like super long term. We'll see what it does. But yeah, I got in here around 140, 145. I was waiting to see what they would do once we dipped right into here. And the only way I would get out of this investment is if they traded down through that buy side bounce. What? Okay, well, you just openly admitted to everyone on here that you are a little wussy boy.
I know better.
All right, I'm done. But all right, guys, let's
So
check out. Let's check out our
coffee. Yummy.
That's not coffee.
What is it?
Orange juice. Well, Jackson, we didn't have a lot going on today, bud. So you're lucky. But yeah, guys, wait on this daily closure. I'll give y'all an update on my thoughts. But yeah, the immediate target, I'm still wanting to go to Friday's high. That's what I'm favoring. Yeah, I'm gonna go be a dad. Appreciate it. We'll do another one free with you guys. Not tomorrow, but thanks for coming out. Hope you learned a thing or two, and I will see y'all next time. Okay, see you.